guess since the last time we spoke to you, postseason started.
Yeah.
So just kind of talk about, to begin with, how your postseason's kind of rounded in shape and kind of got you ready for this week or next week.
I mean, coach has always been kind of setting up our season to get us ready for the postseason. As we've seen, Jerry's doing what he does best, and he's getting us ready when we need to be. And yeah, obviously we're seeing that with the way our guys are performing at the conference level, and then obviously regionals, getting three guys through in the 1500 was huge. So yeah, I mean, everybody's firing really well, firing on all cylinders, and yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
The 1500 is such an interesting race because it can either be really tactical and slow, or it could be really fast. I mean, how do you mentally prepare for both and to have yourself ready for either one on any given day?
Yeah, in my mind, you're preparing the same way as you would tactical or a blistering pace. In my mind, either way, anybody can win the race. I think when it's super fast, you've got a few guys that are going to be more of a favorite, but everybody's got to show up on the same day and all perform in the same race, and you don't know who's showing up on which day. In a tactical race, there's a lot more variables at play. Anybody really can win that way. But like I said, I'm going in knowing that anybody can win the 1500. I mean, it's been shown in so many levels. You look at Centro and Rio, stuff like that. There's so many examples of, people coming into races and being able to pull off an upset because of the fact that it is the 1500. It's kind of that marquee event. And I think that's why it's so entertaining to watch. It's just, you can go in and you can be ranked last and you can come out ahead because you played your cards right better than everyone else. So.
With that same thought process, do you look at the athletes who are ahead of you who have run faster this year and think to yourself, it might take a PR, or it probably will have to take a PR?
Yeah, going into regionals, I was thinking the same way. I was thinking regional final, I was expecting to PR. Just with the guys that were in the field, I figured we weren't going to mess around, but it wasn't anything too fast, but I was really happy with the way that 340 felt. But yeah, I'm going in knowing that, there's a decent chance I'll probably PR. But as the season's developed, on paper, I'm a 338 guy. I don't see myself as that anymore. I've run it too many times. I've run 355 too many times. I have to assume that things are going to come around at the right time and I'm going to have a breakthrough. And each time I run 355 or 338, the race slows down for me. So I think when it comes time, I can definitely pull something out. So,
what did it mean to take the win in Boulder?
Yeah, that was an unbelievable race. Everything kind of came together mentally and physically. And obviously I had a race plan going in, and we knew it was going to be tactical. It was, that was the easiest call in the world. We knew it was going to be a slow race. So I knew going in I needed to sit pretty in the front and waste the least amount of energy possible, which I did perfectly. And then I trusted my foot speed enough to, if anyone's going to challenge me in the last 400 meters, I was going to match the move, and that's what I did. So, yeah.
Jerry mentioned earlier that in the 1500, you might have a chance, not you individually, but anybody in the field might be able to make one mistake, but not two.
Yes.
How do you have that in your head when you go into a race, knowing that it almost has to be perfect?
Yeah, that's especially as you make your way further into the season, you have less mistakes that you can make, and you can really only make like one mistake in a championship race like that if you expect to win. And given the fact that there's a decent chance I don't have to PR in a race like this to even let's say a top 3 finish or something like that, I'm gonna have to execute to the best of my ability and make very few errors. If I can do that, I trust myself over anybody in the field. If we're running fast, errors are even more costly. You don't want to find yourself in lane 2. You don't want to find yourself pressing when you don't need to be, just stuff like that. But Jerry and I have been working hard in that regard when, we're talking at practice, when we're just kind of going through different scenarios in our heads and just talking to each other about it. He's kind of gotten me in the right place mentally to know what to expect, or to at least know what to anticipate when the race unfolds. So,
you ever had to dive across the finish line like Jakob last night?
That was unbelievable. I thought Cherry got him for sure, but that was honestly pretty well timed, I would say. If it comes down to a dive, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. But I mean, if it takes a dive to win, I'm gonna be the one diving, so that'd be fun. But hopefully, it doesn't take that.
What is the kind of message? I mean, was there a message from Jerry? Because I mean, when it comes to the men's side, it's kind of the opposite of the women. In effect, not as many entries, but you guys can still, make some noise with what you do with those entries.
Well, I would say especially with the 1500 crew that we've got lined up, if we can get everybody in the final, which I fully expect us to, we got 3 ducks in the final lined up. Regardless of how that plays out in the final, we still got 3 in the national final at 1500, and that's just huge for our program. I think that's a huge stepping stone for us, and moving forward, going into next season, just understanding that and appreciating that and kind of letting it motivate us will be huge. So yeah, there's less at stake in terms of anything we can do as a team, but it's more about like the guys who are there are really the ones like leading the charge and getting us to the right place for next year. So.